Hi, it's Rich.
It's Rich.
It's Rich. It's Rich from Loen.Design.
So how do you describe yourself? You're an engineer, you're an artist, there's this industrial design.
My whole life I was an engineer.
Okay.
And I have all that knowledge. And then when I retired, I said, I want to be an artist now. That was tricky because that's a whole world I didn't know much about. Although my brother is an artist, his wife was an artist, my mother was an artist.
Okay, so you do know something.
And at all of the companies I was working, I was the owner, but I was very close with the product managers, the customers, and the developers, figuring out what the screen should look like and getting the enthusiasm, something that the customer would love using.
Right.
So I had that artistic, that feel to everything I was doing in my career. Being an artist is the same kind of thing. I'm creating things that bring a smile to my face. We created a clock with all kinds of numbers flipping around, and it has a personality. It doesn't just change the time in the same way. It changes it in all kinds of different ways. That's the kind of thing that you look at it. It has whimsy. It has fun. It's
unexpected,
obscure, bringing things together where there's either a computer controlling it, or a computer was used in the design of it, or helped me express it, or there's an algorithm that's in there. Like I did a bunch of boxes called the Voronoi box series, and they're all following a algorithm that's called the voronoi pattern. It's used by dragonflies and giraffes. The wings of a dragonfly have a voronoi pattern. The spots on a giraffe are the voronoi pattern. Being able to understand that and then create these boxes that sort of show how the pattern evolves as it gets more and more complex.
Oh, those are in the
Yes,
front.
the yellow and blue box.
I love those.
So they have this kind of cool whole history and background to them. So I created all those. I designed them, and then we did a video about the creation of it, and we did a video about how the actual pattern works. And all of that is like, so in a gallery, we'd go in and you'd see them all in a row, and you'd see a video that kind of explains why these things are interesting. More than just yellow and blue boxes, they're kind of cool.
Yes. So does nature often inspire your work, or what are your other inspirations?
Feelings. How does this thing evoke a feeling in you is one. So we are working on a project now that I, of course, can't tell you about. It involves bells.
You did already tell me.
I know, but I'm telling everybody because I don't know. It's been taking a long, long time. Yeah, there's a lot of things underway and things that people might actually be able to buy. Or Google did a website called Quick Draw that allows you, that they would give you a word and ask you to draw it. So they have 100 million images that were drawn by people all over the world. And it's in a weird database format that I had to take it out of there and translate it into a workable, normal format. So that's where the nerdy computer stuff comes in. So I did panels with like thousands of these images, and you can go and say, give me all the images of faces, of penguins, of toilets, whatever you want. And so I did panels with all these different things, but now we're making miniatures of them on little cards with a laser. And so we're putting them so they can do a little triptych or something like that of them in a frame. And that's something that you could conceivably buy. Like the other things would be 10 or 20 or 50,000 bucks for the originals. But these ones are something we could actually sell.
Yes. I'm curious that it's one thing to get on with it and make stuff, but this is a whole other level. This isn't just an iPhone and you've got professional equipment, you've got professionals. Why the interest in all this equipment and such professional quality of production?
Our goal is to make interesting art pieces, but the kind of things I create are not really the kind of thing that you would put in your living room. But they are things that maybe like in a corporate lobby or would be in a gallery. What I often say to myself when I'm working on something is, if I went to an art gallery and my piece was in the room, is it something that I would look around the room and go, what's that? And walk over there and look at that.
Yeah.
So I'm creating the kind of things that entice me, that I find really, really interesting, even if it's not something that you'd put in your house. And then the filming of it, what we're trying to do is film how it was made. So there's sort of a backstory, or almost the provenance, that little piece of paper that says this really was in this chateau in 1863. So this is the provenance of this stuff we're creating, is how it was made. And there are people who like how stuff was made videos.
People really like the backs.
Yeah.
You know, if it's all just shiny and perfect and here's the finished product, it's kind of boring. Like it's
exactly.
fun to
We're trying to do that. So here's why we got the idea for it. Here's what we're planning to do. Here's how we built it. And here's the end result. And that's kind of a standard script of our videos.
So when you say we, do your staff sit down with you and brainstorm and come up with these ideas? Or is it you thinking up the idea and then everyone's helping you execute the idea?
Everybody here has a role to play and is helpful. And the ideas are generally mine. Like I want to work on this project or that project, and I have a big long list of projects that it is way longer than I will exist for. So sadly. We generally have a summer student or two, or a student working here. Trevor doing the video, so sort of documenting what we're doing.
Okay.
And Brooke kind of runs the whole place. She makes sure that everything's going along smoothly, the bills are paid and all that. But Brooke has also stepped up and started doing a lot more of the sanding, the finishing, and she's our expert in lasers.
You're just executing your wildest dreams and bringing other people along for the ride.
And yes, I'm lucky enough to be able to do that. I'm lucky enough to surround myself with people who are fun to be with, who make it a joy to come to work every day. At the end of every day, I have to go home thinking I accomplished something, that I've moved a project along, that I've done something interesting. I'm just having an amazing amount of fun every day.
You are living your best life.
I am. I'm very, very, very lucky, and I take care not to forget that.